If fighting was a god, I would worship him. I would bow to him. I would pray for victory. For he only grants opportunities. But behind every god lurks a devil. And the devil wants me to take a dive. My name is Annatomic. And this is how my legend was made.
When footsteps fall in eldritch hollows, and spectres flee into the shadows, that is the time when horror's heroes abound, culling the ghouls that go bump in the night.
Hello, everybody, from the heart of Lovecraft country in the birthplace of American religious liberty. My name is SHANTH ENJETI. You're watching SHANTH ENJETI Art, and I gotta tell you, it's one of those days where I don't know whether to scratch my watch or wind my behind, but here we are on a Sunday. I see my brother Mark coming in here. It's good to see you, Mark. How are you doing? Mark's Music Obsession. I'm doing a daytime stream, you know. Sometimes I gotta do it, brother. I said, oh my gosh, if I do these late night streams, I never get to see my boy Mark. So I gotta say hello for Mark, and I gotta do an earlier stream. What's up, Christopher Bouchard? It's good to see you. Let's see what we've got here in the chat. Lots of cool stuff to talk about. Lots of craziness going on. Holy cow. That's just the way it is, right? That's just the way things go. There's always like a million and one things, but I actually got a good start this morning. I woke up early, threw myself into the shower, as you have to do sometimes. And then hit the grocery store, grabbed myself some Granny Smith apples, which I had a hankering for, and picked up some milk so the Bobbins would have some milk for cereal. The little people of Stonehenge, as I call them, who aren't so little anymore. And just was getting things ready, putting things together. As you can tell, the studio space is getting itself into shape, and I've got some people to celebrate, including Barb Rogers here when we get started. So let me start. Let me go back. It told me to go back to the beginning. So I have. Let me see where Barb Rogers is, who gifted a membership to Michelle Bowers. Hail, Barb Rogers. It is great to see you up in this house. And I have to tell you, always a pleasure, and I appreciate you gifting a membership. So this, my friend, is for you. Cover your ears, darlings.
This is Shanth ENJETI Art, and you're watching Forget What You've Been Taught About. Sleepy Hollows, Headless...
Wow, that's an old that's an old audio from a video. I got to drop from that. That scene. Holy cow. But yes, Barb Rogers, thank you so much for gifting a membership. And of course, we've got Mark's help. Mark, honestly, it cannot be 22 months already, brother. Holy cow. It cannot be 22 months already, and yet it is. Mark's Music Obsession has been a member for 22 months. My God. Tammy, it seems like only yesterday we brought him home from the hospital. You know what I'm saying? And it's good to see you, Tammy. How are you doing? I hope you are doing well. I'm doing great, and it's great to see you. So, Mark, I got to get a cheerleader because we're celebrating some membership time here. So here you guys go. And I'm going to try to figure out what I did wrong on that other section.
This is Shanth ENJETI Art.
Let's switch that. There we go. Now I've got it switched off. Yeah, I had it set to play a video because I was showing a video last time we were on stream. My God, it's great to see you people. Liberty and such. Wishmaster is here. It's good to see you, Wishmaster. Let me get some of you hooligans up here. Imposter, that was the real Shanth. You're right, Alfonso. Riley, you're right, man. Oh, my God. Michelle Bowers in the house. Tammy D is in the house. Let's see who else we've got. We've got Chris. We've got Caleb. I love that name, Caleb, by the way. That was a strong contender for my son's name. Yes, indeed. Hit that like, ring the bell, all of that important stuff. We've got my brother from another mother, my painting brother, Eric Weathers, in the house. It's great to see you, Eric. I hope you're having a fine Sunday. Getting in some paintings. Let's see who else am I missing here. Where are all my people? We've got Mechanoid in the house. It is great to see you, Mechanoid. So Sulcurialt is in the house. It is good to see you, Sulcurialt. I hope you're doing all right. Let me see who we got here. Bobbing and weaving. We've got Darth Gutierrez. It's great to see you, Darth. I hope you're doing well. We've got Snozhead in the house with a beautiful, beautiful CYBERFROG drawing. Is his profile pic? Is that the one from the Warts and All, the latest Warts and All campaign? I back that. Love that cover. I think Let me think about it. I think that's one of my favorite Ethan covers. I want to say that might... Well, now, let's see if I can remember all my Ethan covers to see. Oh, it's tough. On CYBERFROG, that's my favorite Ethan cover, I think it's safe to say. The Story Collector is here. Good afternoon to the Story Collector. How are you doing, my friend? We've got Glass Machine in the house. Great to see you. We've got Mr. Monkey Boy 1969, and I think I've got most of the people on that end of things. And we've got Russell Tyson here. Yes, indeed. Love the Karloff posters. Good taste in films. Russell Tyson, I'm so glad that you noticed those, because this has been one of the many things I've been working on. So as you guys know, and it's been this case on this channel, it's been this case on a lot of channels, and it's great, it's cool. I guess I never thought about it before, but it just struck me that I'm a big fan of Mr. Rogers. I don't mind telling you. And I was just thinking about how when you come onto YouTube and you see a show like Townsend's, one of the things I like about it is, if you don't follow the Townsend's channel on 18th century cooking and history, it's incredible. But when you come into their show, one of the things I love about it is you're actually being invited into where they do their work, or at least, you know, something that transports you. And I started thinking about that, so I started getting to work on getting my studio... Oh, gosh, hit the computer there. My studio space together, and I got my sofa in here facing towards the TV. Everything was just piled in this room. And then I started getting some prints on the wall. What's up, Sleeping Psychopathy? It's great to see you, my friend. How are you? And so one of the things I've been doing is I've been making these posters so that I can put them up on the wall and getting these canvas prints. And so... right over there, I finally got the man that, believe it or not, that is one of his, God rest him, one of his last movie paintings. But that is Basil Gogos of Famous Monsters fame, and that is his painting of the 2010 werewolf movie, Wolfman, starring Benicio del Toro. So there's something about it I love. Stealth X5, what's up, brother? It is great to see you, my friend. How are you doing? And thank you for reaching out to me. I do appreciate that. Oh, he missed... Wait, did I miss your milestone? Where are you, Tammy? What the heck? Oh my gosh, Tammy D celebrates 23 months of membership. Great times. I'm melting away from the heat. I can... honest to God. It's something, isn't it? It's hot up here, and it has been hot up here, which is bizarre. Because we don't usually have it, you know, this humid. And I was actually at the grocery store this morning, Tammy, and I said to them, I go... you know, listen, this humidity's fine and all, but I didn't move up here for this kind of weather. I could have stayed in Tennessee if I wanted this kind of weather, but you know how it goes. And speaking of knowing how it goes...
Charge! Charge!
And what is up, everybody? And we've got Lord Hinson, my brother's here. Lord Hinson, Comic Skater, in the house. It's great to see you, brother. Oh my God. Is there any new Springball artwork? There are tons of new Springball artwork. This is the thing about it, though. As you guys saw, like, just a little glimpse of one panel, I don't know what I can show when it comes to Springball that's not going to spoil things. But allow me to just say this. Because of the nature of the way that I'm making the book, Springball is... you can see every bit of the... 26 pages of the book right now. They're all there. I'm just sort of, you know, not reworking at this point. I'm doing a lot of finishing work and things like that. But man, I gave you a little glimpse. I might show some later. We'll see how this stream does. Maybe I'll show you some later, but there's tons. Are you kidding? Yeah. There's tons, and the book is something I'm really proud of. I'm really proud of Nosfero's oxidized edition cover, which I just posted that. So for those of you guys who backed Nosfero the Crypt Walker, the oxidized edition, I made the call, and I decided that this piece I've been working on that was just going to be a small little frontispiece in the start of the book, I go, you know what? Mrs. Enjetti had told me, when I was doing the Second Chance campaign, she's like, you're not going to do a new cover for it? And I go, you know, I kind of think that I'll change the type up a little bit, but I really do feel as though maybe it's a good idea to keep the covers the same. And just the more I looked at it, and the more I thought about it, and the more this painting came together, I was like, this is supposed to be the cover for the oxidized edition. It only is fair for those of you guys who have backed the book twice and are backing the book again, or have been thinking about backing the book again for the new sort of bonus materials and sneak peek at book 2 that you guys, speaking of book 2, look at this. I'll take you guys on a magic carpet right here. So let me move this over so I stop banging into it. But here you go. That's right. Oh, no. You're getting everything. Yeah, that's a part of your pack. Don't you worry. You're getting everything. What's up, Trips? How you doing, channel member? It's great to see you, man. Hope you're well. Let me make sure I haven't missed anything. Yeah, it's been brutal. I know. I've been hearing it. So I've got family, for those of you guys who don't know, I've got family in Arkansas, Texas, and Florida. So, and one in Houston and one in Dallas. So when it comes to Texas. So everybody's been dealing with that crazy humidity, and we've been hearing about it, and it's rough. There's something about the heat. We went down to Orlando because the missus and I are geniuses. We went down to Orlando in the summer. What's up, zombie boy? We went down there, and it was in August to take the kids to Universal because we wanted to celebrate them graduating from high school, and we hadn't done a family trip in I don't know how long. And we went down there, and I'm telling you what, guys, my daughter and I, little Miss E and I, cannot handle the heat, which is really funny when you think about what's up, channel member Alpha Channel. It's great to see you. I don't know the exact place, but it's where my mother-in-law moves to, and I forget the exact. It's a little bit out of the way, but I'll try to get that for you, because I know we've got everybody's got people and all over the place. Yeah, Houston is hot. Yeah, amen. Yeah, it's nuts, man. It is. It's some crazy stuff, but yeah, man, it was like we can't, for whatever reason, we are highly prone, I think, to heat stroke and things like that. So if we get out in that heat, it's not good. Like all of a sudden we're just like, we're not in great shape. And it was very hot in Orlando when we were down there. It was Orlando in August, but it's the wildest thing because just all of a sudden it's just like we go. And little Miss E got sick, which was, not fun for her. But it's just, we have to be careful about that. It's funny, my wife, as you guys know, is granted she's from Texas, but I grew up in Tennessee and was born in Houston. But she handles the heat so much better than me. She just looks over at me and she's like, "Are you all right?" And I'm like, "I need to sit down." It's rough, man. It's rough. What is up, Emo Trash? How are you doing? Where are you? There you are. Evening. Everybody's saying hello. Sleeping received a membership from David D. Gifted memberships. What the heck? David D. gifted one Shanth Enjeti Art membership. Thank you so much, David D. My God, it's raining cheerleaders. What's up, my brother? The first channel member, Stephen Rockwood, the Alpha, the Omega's here. Let us celebrate David D. for gifting a membership. Thank you so much, brother. And welcome back aboard Sleeping Psychopathy. I'm telling you what, guys, we are going to have fun. I'm excited about this summer. I'm excited about, funny enough, this is the crazy thing, I'm excited about this fall. And, Ice Age is coming. That's right, man. We need it. I tell you what, I'm feeling it right now. And hail, David D. Thank you so much, man. All you guys gifted channel memberships. What's up, John? How are you, man? So I'm excited about Springball. The story of Springball is really coming together. And I cannot tell you, speaking of people excited about Springball, Tarks9 is here. What's up with the awesome John Malin cover as his icon right there. Tarks9, it's great to see you, man. So I'm working on a double-page spread on Springball. I'll just drop that there. I'm working on a double-page spread of Springball that's been added to the book. So it's a new double-page spread. And but it's a double-page spread that is really kind of highlighting a story point, which is Springball racing to save Nell. That's a little nod to one of my favorite authors of all time, of course, and some of you guys might know that name. And so he's racing to save this little girl Nell, who's basically made a series of terrible decisions. I don't mind saying it. Like, it's I grew up on Oh, pin the book to the top of the chat. Barb Rogers is like, you know, helping me with this whole, oh my God, I got to get hooked on phonics with this whole streaming thing, man. I'm telling you, Barb, God bless you and thank you for your help. Let me see here. Let me see. All right, so if I go, wait, Barb, what the heck? Hold on a second here, Barb. Sometimes, I tell you what, hopefully that's taken care of. Let's see here. Where is the link? And then we'll talk shop. So I'm working on this double page spread, and it's these pages that I've added to the book, and I think right now that we're going to be at 26, but I just don't know, because it's a fluid kind of situation, you know, when I'm doing this kind of work. It's I'm always trying to make sure that the story works, and that I wanted to introduce you to the real threat element of this character Nell and the situation that she's in. And in doing so, the thing that sort of happened that was worthy of that, holy cow, was I wanted to make sure that I had a character. All right, the message is pinned. There's a link to Springball, Terminal Monstrosity. And speaking of, my God, I turned my head away for a second, and my brother Timmy Mello is here. What is up, Timmy Mello? How are you doing? How is art life going, man? I see that sketch there. Beautiful. I thought that was Spawn for a second. Seriously, man. I'm telling you what, Malin, with this right here. Oh, I thought that's awesome. Yeah. Oh, by the way, yes, that's a great eye. This is actually, this is going to be a little bit more asymmetrical, but this villain and a lot of the stuff that I'm doing in my comics, I try to have a nod to certain things. So yeah, that's absolutely a nod to Spawn's cape right there. It's a nod to his cape and the Tomb of Dracula stuff. I just love that stuff, and I wanted it to be kind of this asymmetrical kind of thing there. Yeah, I'm so excited about that stuff. You guys know I love Todd McFarlane stuff, man. Let me see here. Why did that not work? I just tried to do that. Dang it. Barb, sit tight for a second. This is driving me crazy. Something about this is not letting me do it, Barb. Let me see. What do we do? Here we go. Okay. That should work. What am I doing wrong here? Is it the... Oh, of course. It's the way the window was cropped. There you go. Alrighty. That takes care of that. Barb, type something in the chat. Let me just double check. And thank you, Mark. Thank you for dropping the link, man. I appreciate it, brother. Type something in the chat and just let me see if that worked there. Okay. So that's a big factor of it. So in Springball, I wanted to put in this double page spread because I wanted to, I had this really good idea. And I think the more I can show you guys the character, the better, because it is the first issue. And, but in Springball, you've got this little girl who's missing, and you've got this mad scientist who is, this Lovecraftian psychopath who's trying to, of course, Barb, my pleasure, who is trying to become one with the deep ones, if you know your Lovecraft lore. And you don't have to have read any H.P. Lovecraft to understand this book or to follow it. It's just stuff that will be little winks and nods to you. It's kind of like how many people watched Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2 and didn't know about the Necronomicon and H.P. Lovecraft. I mean, it was the center part of the book. And so, of the movie in the Necronomicon book. But you didn't need it to watch it. You're thrown into this situation and you're going to see this stuff unfold. So that's really important. And so as I've expanded the story, the mythos of this book, it's been so fun. Yes, indeed. Bow to Mrs. Enjetti. As always, Russell Tyson saying hello to folks. Oh my gosh, Travis Perrick coming in with a super chat of $2. And he says, Happy White History Month. Yes, is it White History Month? I didn't know that. I thought it was White Boy Summer. You never know. Man. But we'll celebrate it. Let me see here. Where is the... some of my best friends are white. Here you...
Charge! Charge!
I love it, man. You guys are cracking me up. Yeah, I had to make a White Boy Summer reference, of course, because we do a very inclusive White Boy Summer here in Comicsgate out of necessity. But the thing is that when I'm writing this thing and I'm writing Springball, yes, Mrs. Z keeping Shanth glued together. Thank you. Is she in the chat? Where is she? Has she popped up in the chat? I can't tell. Let me know if she shows up. Yeah, but she is. She's keeping me sane. Yeah, she's a real credit to the force, let me tell you. Oh my god, look at all this. Look at all this craziness, man. Alright, so let me see here. Where is it? Alright, so I think if I can make this work, we're gonna try this. We're gonna take a look at some stuff here. Why not? What can I show you without it being totally spoiler stuff? That's the problem, guys. That is the problem. Man, everything's spoilers in this book. It's so annoying. It's good, but a lot happens on every page, you know. Should I show this in process? I don't usually like to show stuff in process, but then it's like, I don't know. We'll show, because it's just scribbles when I start these things. So you got to bear in mind, it's like looking at a painting, but whatever. Let's just do it. Let me put this here. I'll give you a little glimpse of something fun. Since you guys are here, since you turned out on this fine Sunday, we're gonna make it happen. Oh my God, so much stuff. You guys are a very active chat today. I have to tell you. Show us the last page. Shane Davis does. Let me tell you, I agree with Shane. I think that's where I end up, man. I'm going to end up showing the last page of the book. So what have I got here? Screen share. My screen is a mess. There we go. And now let me do, let's see what this is set on. Not entire screen. I want current application. There we go. There's the current application. So right here is a look, my friends, at that double page spread. And it's a really, for me anyway, been a really cool thing. It's just started. It's just being roughed in. So it's not where I want it to be by any stretch of the imagination. It's got a long ways to go. But see, in this story, when Springball is trying to find Nell, and he's talking with Molly, and he's like, I've got to find her. They're looking at this picture. Has to be. He's packing. Oh, thank you, man. Oh, Christopher, you're going to love this stuff, man. So he's racing his way. To try to find her. And all throughout his mind, and you can't see the dialogue yet, but it's a pretty rough but crazy double page spread. If you look at the background, one of the things that's going to be happening in it, I'm showing way too much, but I don't care. You can see the roughen. I'm going to have to go in and draw all these. But if you look in the background, you can see that these are windows that are right up there at the top, right behind the picture right there, right behind his head. These are windows in perspective. So he's actually going down the side of a building, but I just wanted to do something other than a blank background. And every single one of these pictures, and these are the pictures of Nell when she was first put into the system, because she lives in a group home, so she doesn't know who her family is, and she lives in this group home, and she's now run away. This is the photo of her when Springball first rescued her and brought her to that group home. And like every parent's nightmare, and if you're a parent or you have young people in your life, every single one of these photos is going to have a little word balloon from it saying something that is a parent's nightmare. So one of these pictures in there where Springball's remembering her is, is her going to be, the picture is going to be saying, the last time you saw me, you said you were disappointed. So it's like all the things that are racing through his mind. Another picture is going to be saying, I'm already gone. You're too late. You were supposed to protect me. It's just a dark kind of thing. And you see the thread of like what is trying to get at her. And that's part of the story. That's part of the writing process for me, is I've got to make it as rough as I can. Oh my God, yeah, that'll never happen here, so don't you worry. Yeah, playing out like memories, yeah. And you know how it is, right? When you're a parent and you raise your kids, one of the things that you're going to see is they change over time. They go through all of these little these phases. They become different people. They grow up to, to be the adults that they're going to be. And you always Springball. Yeah, that's probably how my kids would have said it. What a mind fuck. Going dark. Yes, because I want the payoff of the aspirational, good, heroic storytelling in this to be worth it. I want to put her in danger. I want to put these characters in danger, and you're going to see those consequences. Man, I want to show you guys more. The Salamandroid mug. Very cool, Rachel Brinkley. That is awesome, man. Yeah, I mean, this book, I don't know how to describe it, man. I loved Todd McFarlane's comic books. Loved them. In particular, I loved the creative team, the colorists, and everything on Spawn. And I loved Tom Orzechowski's lettering, Olaf's colors, and I loved Todd's character design and things like that. And, in terms of, his page design, his art design. I love Spawn, of course, too. But it's for me, if there's a big influence on this book in terms of doing something that is that just has inspired me my entire life, in terms of my young life, and is the first comic book I ever bought. It is, where is it? And it happens to be an independent comic book collection, I should say. It's this. It's the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles first publication, if you guys remember this, first graphic novel. And it's one of the reasons I like to print my comic books to the size that I do. I remember when I saw, although mine's a little bit bigger than this, if you know this book. Mine's actually, let me see, about a centimeter bigger than this, half an inch. And one of the things for me about this book was, and Springball is very much like this, if you've read mainstream comics, you haven't read Springball. Things happen in this book that happen when you have artists who are just being as creative. How do I put it? The charge that I think I have whenever I do a campaign, and this is a Comicsgate thing, this is a point of personal pride for artists, is you guys are charging me with making the most creative and the most high quality and work I can, and you're like, we've got your back. We're going to back your books. We're going to make this happen. And that's the thing about it. And I'm not interested in writing a Spider-Man story, to be honest. I'm not. I don't want to write a Spider-Man story. I don't want to write a Spawn. I love Spawn stuff. I love mainly those issues that Todd drew. That's where everything kind of came together. So I pretty much follow artists and artists doing their own stuff. But when I got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles when I was a kid growing up in Chattanooga in elementary school, the thing that got me is, I hear that he is a good dude. There's my man, Past Master Dan. What's up, brother? How are you doing, man? And thanks for reaching out. I can't wait to get that to you, man. I wish he'd make books instead of toys too, man. I love his work. I love his artwork, and it's a huge influence. So you can tell when I rebought this book, this was a later printing. They actually had an ad for Milton Bradley video games in the front cover, right? And so here's the crazy thing about it, right? Yeah, if you've read Frank Miller's Daredevil, and if you know Frank Miller's Daredevil run, Frank Miller, by the way, and we're going to be talking about him on Tuesday, I believe, on John Malin's channel. It's going to be a members stream, members only stream. So if you're not a member, become a member over on John Malin's stream, a members only stream where we talk comics. So we're going to be talking about Sin City: The Hard Goodbye. Frank Miller is without a doubt the most influential artist of his generation. When you think of the sheer number of artists, and I mean big time artists like Todd McFarlane, who is probably the biggest star of his generation, they all were influenced by Frank Miller, but you could also lay at his feet his influence in the creation of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And that can't be overstated. Yep. eBay has these graphic novels? The answer is yes. Absolutely. Yeah, they're great. And the colors on the first issue were colored by Kevin Eastman, who was a painter. So when I look at the first comics I ever bought, that really consciously bought, the first one I ever bought was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This one had a painted cover. Bear in mind, I had no thought I was ever going to paint or be a painter. And then Punisher Limited Series by Mike Zeck had an airbrush and painted artwork over one of his drawings. So Rocketeer by Dave Stevens, painted cover on that trade that influenced me. So it seems as though that I already had kind of a taste. But if you look at this book, it feels completely handmade. And these early editions are very, so just to give you guys know this, I was born in 1976. So when this came out, I don't think I was even 10 yet when my buddy brought it to school, his brother's copy. But I have the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles licensed product over there, which were these little lead miniatures by a company called Dark Horse Miniatures, believe it or not related to the comics. But you look at this book, there's your vertical panels, there's your layouts, there's your, badass dialogue. But in whatever it is, 40-something pages, they laid out the entire story. And that's what makes it so cool. But look at this, man. You could go and you could critique the artwork and you could critique all this stuff. Like, sometimes I think we get a little too obsessed with that stuff. A great idea and putting something out there that is entertaining and entertains the audience is everything. And so this is the stuff that I really love. This is the really fun stuff about it. Let me see here. Everybody's saying hello, hello, hello. Gosh, I'm so far behind on the chat. What's up, Apex Comics? How are you doing, man? Great to see you. Gosh, saying hello to everybody. And you do have a wrench. Just making sure you had a wrench there. Oh, yes. Old man Shanth, indeed. So I would see this stuff, right? And I've actually went to, before it closed down, the Words and Picture Museum that Kevin Eastman funded that eventually sort of went out of business because Tundra Comics and all of that stuff and that financial loss. But look at this stuff. You're getting the Foot Clan, who are based on the Hand, and you've got Splinter, who is based on Daredevil's mentor Stick, and that beautiful Frank Miller comic books. And here you've got the origin of Daredevil, pushing the blind man out of the way, getting hit by the chemical toxic waste, and then it bounces, hits, and turns the Ninja Turtles into the Ninja Turtles. This is crazy how much this book. You've got Michelangelo spelled wrong, which is how I tended to spell the actual artist name Michelangelo until I had someone correct me. But you know what? What are you going to do? And you see this kind of stuff, and this is what comics is, man. Yes, Graphics Duo Shade. What's up, Glitch? Good to see you, brother. How you doing, G? Graphics Duo Shade. There's a video of Peter Laird demonstrating it on YouTube that's fantastic, if you haven't seen it, guys. But this, to me, is why when I was 14 years old, I self-published my first comic book. When I was 16, I self-published my second comic book. And I mean 22 pages, doing a lettering on a word processor or writing it with my horrible handwriting and word balloons. That's what I was doing. This is what inspired me. So, it's a funny thing. The comic book industry has gone through so many shifts since, I turned 20 and since I've been an adult at 18. And here's the crazy thing about it, man. This independent, comic world of Rocketeer, of Grips by Silver Wolf Comics, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is where my heart is always going to be. This is where it always has been. And so when I did Springball in 2002, and it was nothing like what it is and what it's going to be now, but when I did that in 2002, and just like with everything else I've done independent comic-wise, I was reaching for that. I was reaching for what was possible. And Comicsgate is where this stuff is possible, where this happens. What is up? Bosch, how are you doing, brother? It is great to see you, man. I hope you are doing well, guys. If you haven't checked out PIGMAN yet, I played the trailer at the start of the stream. Make sure you check it out. And it's great to see you, Bosch. Hail, man. Let me see here. Apex Comics. And by the way, the link to PIGMAN is in the description under support independent creators. So go check that stuff out. Let's see here. 4 more days and $300 to go for all backers to receive Dan Lawless Fembat trading card, guys. There's a link on Fund My Comics if you guys don't know. Fund My Comics and I I love those guys and what they're doing, and it's great to see what they're doing. So thank you guys. And by the way, you can also pick up Pigman by Bosch Fawston, which, speaking of Frank Miller's influence and just the beautiful grit that's in his stuff, Bosch is doing it. Bosch is just bare knuckle comics is the best way I could say it. And if you haven't checked it out, the story of Pigman is just I don't even know how to word it. It's a hero that is very much of our current time, which is it's a hero addressing contemporary issues, right? And it's a hero whose design feeds into it. It's an incredible bit of invention. Why he wears the pigskin, as he fights the Islamists terrorists who he goes after, and it's such a it's taking an approach to an idea, to a concept that would be easy to do without creating an interesting character. I mean, visually and artistically, and he made it work. And Pigman has got this really great sort of like pug nose. He kind of reminds me of one of my favorite boxers right now. One of my favorite boxers, I don't know if you know him, Bosch, and he's not tall by any stretch. Oh, jeez. Thank you, Bosch. Sent me a super chat for $9.99. Thank you, brother. I'm going to send some cheerleaders your way. I'm going to still keep talking about your comic book when we come back because I wanted to share some more.
Charge! Charge!
And hail Simply Green and hail Grey Wolf. It's great to see you. So there's a Mexican fighter I like who's little. He's a shorter guy, but he's stocky. He's a very stockily built fighter. And it's Isaac Pitbull Cruz. If you've never seen Isaac Pitbull Cruz, he's lost a couple of fights because for his fighting style, he should really go down and weight. He's fighting people with a tremendous reach advantage over him. But he's one of those guys that just, gets inside and he just goes to work on you. And he, for my money, he really gave... oh my God, I'm blanking on boxer names. I must not be well right now. Boxer. Why am I blanking on this guy's name? This is going to drive me nuts. He gave one of the pound-for-pound best fighters an incredible run for his money. So he's just got this kind of build. And that's what I think of. Isaac Pitbull Cruz is who I think of when I think of Pigman, weirdly, in terms of his build. He's just a brick house, so to speak. And you know what I mean. John Byrne was a more influential artist to me, absolutely, along with Osamu Tezuka. My God, yes. Osamu Tezuka, the book Osamu Tezuka, God of Manga, is a must-read for anyone who hasn't read it. And it comes with a documentary on the life of Osamu Tezuka. And he talks about how he did these at a very early age. These incredibly accurate butterfly and insect studies, and you can see them in the Osamu Tezuka book. It is incredible work. I mean, that guy had an eye. His adaptation of the story of the Buddha is incredible. Astro Boy, of course, you guys know. And I actually like the Phoenix series he did, so a hugely influential artist. And John Byrne, I mean, what do you say about John Byrne? He's getting some love for his X-Men work right now, no? I believe it's going to be, they're publishing all of the X-Men work that he did sort of on his own, which is great, man. That's right, Baxes. That's right, Baxes from Harvard. That's right, there is an accent coming along. Yeah, boxers are, I love boxing, and it's been a great weekend and week for boxing, I can tell you that much. Hello, Mrs. Enjetti. How are you doing?
Are you live?
I'm live.
Whoa. Hello.
Say hi, hi, Comics Kate. Sorry, I talked over you while you said I'm sorry.
I just wanted to tell you that I'm home and that I got you clam chowder at the Clam Shack.
You got me clam chowder at the Clam Shack?
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds fantastic. So you don't get much more New England than that, folks. There you have it. So yes, Mrs. Enjetti saying her hellos to Comics Gate. It is great to see you guys here as always. We appreciate you guys so much. And so yeah, I mean it's a wild thing because right now when it comes to Springball, what is up, Krabby Patty? Look at all this. Now the chat explodes. Yeah, can't wait for Elsewhere. Yeah, it looks good. John says bow to Mrs. Enjetti. Let's see. Krabby Patty saying hello. David D saying greetings. Rachel Brinkley saying hello. John is here saying hello. Timmy Mello says, hail, Mrs. E. Thank you so much, guys. Madam and Jetty says emo trash. Boss Lady breaking in says Mark's Music Obsession. You know that's right. OsamuTezuka.net. Yes, indeed. Past Master Dan with the links. Why have I never seen Grips? This stuff looks amazing. Thanks, Sean. Found me some new old. Yes. Grips, Grips was such a big influence for me, as was Tim Vigil's work when I was a kid, that the cover of Springball, the cover of Nosfero, the first printing now, I can actually say the first printing and the art edition, is a nod to the layout and design of Grips #1. And there's another painted cover that inspired my work. So it's strange to me because I was not thinking of myself as a painter when I started all of this stuff, man. And do I have that cover here somewhere? Because I used to keep it near me. I bought some prints a couple of years ago. Yeah, here you go. I bought some prints a couple of years ago of Tim Vigil's that were from the 80s. So they actually printed these up in the 80s. And this right here is the cover to Grips #1. And look, he hand did the type as well. He designed the type, airbrush, this kind of thing. Very much, again, has a Zipatone graphics duo shade kind of interior and a painted cover like Ninja Turtles. It's very strange how that stuff works. And so when the time came, wherever the hell it is, let's see if I can find it. I have got so much stuff. I'm just waiting to start an avalanche here. Oh, it's right here. When the time came to do Nosfero, I'm just so invigorated by the independent stuff. You've got that nod right there. Just a little bit of a nod. Prince is a great artist, by the way. His Royal Purple Badness, but I know what you're saying. I see the Nosfero inspiration in that art. And so, yes, it's absolutely an influence on this stuff. And, when I went to go do it, it just felt right because my independent comic book roots, and just in terms of what got me interested in comics, was the sense of fun. It was the sense of play. You could do anything in comics. And Comicsgate is where I can do anything in comics. And the folks that I get to work with are so tremendous in their generosity and the fact that we share a love of the craft of making this work that I can't tell you, man. I see, yeah, absolutely, Timmy, yeah. That inspiration is 100% there, my artist brother. And it's so, I don't know, I was thinking about it just earlier today, and I'm so grateful for Comicsgate. So if you guys have been turning out for the Comicsgate Kings auctions and things like that, as crazy and madcap as they can be, it's just like we're working and we're talking and all of that great stuff. And I got to cut this one down, but I haven't got these in the mail yet. But this is my Conan the Barbarian piece that someone backed. I like to work into these a little bit when I do them, and after the auction is over. So this is the Conan piece. This is the finish on the Conan piece. And then I'm almost done with it, but I might want to do a few other things to it. But I think I've got the CYBERFROG one almost done too. And so right here, this is a look at the CYBERFROG painting that I did for the Comicsgate Kings auction. And so the thing for me is I always want to try to make these into some type of illustration. So just to give it a little ominous feel, I had CYBERFROG holding a dead lily, which just gives it a little bit of a creepier, more terrifying kind of look to it. And so just the idea of doing something like that, just adds a little bit. And I might do a little bit more because I'm not 100% there with it yet. But I just realized you guys can't really see the detail when the light reflects off of it. But this right here, oh, thank you, Bosch. I really do appreciate that, man. Yeah. Pour one out for our girl. That's right. But I mean, that's the thing that makes, oh my gosh. Woohoo! The fresh gulp shrimp beer steamed. Wow. Beer steamed fresh gulp shrimp. Gonna make my wife want to, fly down there. We love our Gulf. We love our Florida Gulf, let me tell you. Look at this stuff, though. But that's the fun of it, is that I get to go in and I get to go in and I get to really detail these things. And it's the same thing with this, I'll just be sitting there kind of jamming while we work, and then I'm just like, all right, well, what am I going to do with this? And I just thought it needed an environment, man. It's so fun. I like story art when the picture says 1,000 words as opposed to just a plain pinup. Oh yeah, me too, man. I love that stuff. That's some of my favorite stuff to do, you know. Yeah, my God, Mark's music obsession is right, man. It is a vacation hotspot down there. And thank you, Apex Comics. I really do appreciate that. When I'm doing the work I do, I try to make everything as handcrafted as I can, and that goes for the sketches when I do the interior sketches, you know. I try to hold as much in my head as I possibly can. So when Mark's Music Obsession, you know, said, hey, when you're doing those ink head sketches and some of that stuff, any chance for a creature from the Black Lagoon? And I'm like going, all right, will do. It's gotta happen, man. Yeah, all the cool kids are welcome, says Mark's Music Obsession. There you go. Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate the kind words, Simply Green. Yeah, with everything I do, like when I'm looking at the Nosfero stuff I'm doing right now, so this is going to be, if you get the oxidized edition, you're getting the first look and the first printed work that shows you what Nosfero Death Will Die will be. And when you get the Springball, for the first Springball campaign, you have the opportunity to get the throwback edition on Springball, which is going to reprint the story, not as a reprint, but it's going to reprint the story anyway as what it originally was at comic book size, so that you can absolutely, geez, thank you, Chuck Reardon, I appreciate that, man. I'm being, it's like an intervention today. Thank you, sir. Yeah, the creature is my absolute favorite. Yeah, absolutely. You know, I love the Millicent Patrick's design for that. And Chris, I'm blanking on his name, the sculptor who did the actual sculpture work. I think it's Chris Mueller, if I'm not mistaken. Chris Mueller did the sculpt on that costume, with Millicent doing some detailing and some art directing on it. It is one of the finest creature suits of all time. It might be the top creature suit, because I think without that you don't get the alien costume designed by Giger. So it's definitely a special design. What's up, Doc Brewski? Good to see you, brother. How you doing, man? And so yeah, so when I'm designing my characters, these are what the witches in the world of Nosfero are going to be. So every time you get a Nosfero book, the books of Nosfero are introducing you to the mythos of the world. And there are certain parameters that I want to keep consistent. And I want to make sure that, that I build a world that has its own thing. Where's Chuck? There's Chuck. Just making sure I got Chuck. I'm like, I got Chuck up on screen, didn't I? I said hello to Chuck. And so the witches are kind of these rat-like creatures. You know, these shrew-like creatures, funny enough. So they've got the kind of like the shrew, if you know what a shrew looks like, that sort of creepy nose and that sort of rat-like quality that is a part of the plague aspect of vampires. And so that was a thing that was fun for me. So as I was working on them, and it's funny because I have a group of heroes that are inspired by rats too, which is, again, another funny thing. So here's a look at them standing around Dreg Thulu, who's his own kind of pestilence. And so there they are, kind of hovering around him. And a lot of this stuff, when I edit it, is going to end up in the once I get it laid out, I mean, not edit it, although I'm going to be doing more work on it, is going to be in the... Gosh, I have so much artwork here, it's ridiculous. But it's going to be in the back of the Oxidized edition. Where are the... Holy cow. I have got so much. I've got sketches from book 1 here. It is a bit of a mess up in here. Where did I put all this stuff? Oh, maybe it's here. Yeah, I might even include, although I'm not sure on this because I want to make sure I'm careful with the space. I might even include some of the stories that I was thinking maybe it'll go in this direction for Nosfero, and it just, every now and again a story wants to be told, and it just takes over. And so here are some of the sketches that are going to be in the back of the Oxidized edition. So this is the layout for the start of the story for Nosfero Death Will Die. And if you've seen the pages in progress, then you know how they're kind of coming together. And so this is one of those layout pages in progress. So there you go. It's how we make this stuff happen. And it's going to be a blast, man. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to get this, all this stuff it requires constant work. It never stops, whether it's streaming or anything else. And Tammy, you asked earlier about Pizza Live. So I've got it's a saucy panel. It's a saucy panel, Timmy. That's, you know how I do things. But the thing for me, and actually it's funny too, because I don't know if this, I'm still working on the layout on this page. I love this composition, don't get me wrong, and I love this composition too. It's tough. Right now, the biggest thing I'm working on is how diaphanous the nightgown's going to be. That's the big thing, you know. It's all lodged in Sean's head. Yeah, it is. It is. It's wild because I sent a text to my brother Rocky, who some of you guys might know, who I'm going to be having, God willing, when the creek don't rise, I'm going to be having do a short story in the back of Springball with my other brother too. I'm going to try to get him pulled in. And I just got to come up with what I want to write for it. But because I want to write things that are going to be fun to draw. And it's, how do I word it? When I come up with the idea for these projects, I'm really just trying to make sure that in Nosfero's case, I need cool monsters, just a little bit of tasteful female nudity, and diaphanous nightgowns, and sword, and now it's going to be flintlocks in book 2. He's getting some flintlocks, so that's the big thing. Oh yeah, exactly. I know, you're right. They'll have a thought on it, but these are how the sketches start. So when I'm doing sketches, and this is another thing too, when people commission me to do artwork, or they buy originals of something that had a sketch phase, usually what ends up happening is they want to buy the sketches too. So this was how the layout for that painting that you guys know so well started. And then much like a lot of the things I do, I wanted to take it in a much more Art Nouveau direction, Is Rocky on hiatus? I hope he's doing all right. Is he taking a break to recover, or just taking a break to rest? It happens. I'll see what I can do. To try to shore up things. But you can see how the sketch starts out with the color notes. And then by the time it starts to really become a full-blown painting, it's an entirely different animal. It's an entirely different animal. And that's what it's about. And I still am going to do some more detailing up in here. And there's a couple of places that I want to just hit one more time. I'm going to hit her face one more time with some worms and things like that. But this is what people are paying for. They want me to just put everything I have into it, and I'm all too happy to do it. That's the great thing about Comicsgate, is we get to do that, and you've got a lot of craftsmanship and a lot of artists putting things together in that regard. Oh my God, yeah. Alphonse Mucha's work just blew my mind. He is, in terms of everybody, he is my biggest art hero. I just can't imagine, so one of the books that I love that I got recently, let me see here. Oh my goodness. Let's see if I can make this happen. John says, you should be like Meatloaf after a performance, Shanth. Listen, I'll do anything for chat, but I won't do that, John. Bear that in mind. Can see definite nods to Frazetta painting in your paintings. One absolutely love Frazetta. I've got a Frazetta book right over here, man. Frazetta's the man, but my biggest influence, who is just a genius, is Alphonse Mucha. And Alphonse Mucha illustrated the Our Father prayer. And it is incredible. This book, La Pater, is it? Yeah, or Le Pater, sorry, is incredible. But look at his pencils. Then here is his color sketch. My God. And then, let me see if I can find it. Then here is the finish for the lettering. Get out of town, man. Look at that. This dude. And then let me see if I can find the finished illustration. Is the finished illustration... Where is it? Oh, there's another sketch. God, how many sketches do you do? So, let me see if I can find it here. There's that. There's that. So, here's one of the sketches. Here are the pencils right here. And then... Whew, this dude. So, this is for Our Father who art in heaven. And then, let me see what else I have here. Oh, yeah, here you go. Hallowed be thy name. Look at this illustration. Oh my goodness. Get out of town. Yeah, the Job's paper ads are ridiculous, aren't they? Incredible. Incredible stuff. Yeah, I'm not going to do jumping jacks. That would traumatize you guys. Yeah. Symbology pierces the unconscious minds, as they say. Yeah, Carl Jung... I actually have a copy of Carl Jung's Red Book in my house because it's one of the biggest influences. That book is a tome. It's heavy. But you look at the process of how he did this work and just the mastery of this stuff. Thy kingdom come. Look at this piece. I mean, and then with this book, they let you see the sketch process. And I love seeing Muka's sketch process. Beautiful work. Tonal studies, all of this stuff, man. You know, I love this book. It's such a great book. And it is a symbolist masterpiece for those of you guys who are fans of Alphonse Mucha. I cannot encourage you enough to get that book. But one of the biggest influences in my stuff that I think you can see, at 50, I can still do jumping jacks and cartwheels. That's absolutely right, man. You got me by 1 year. So I'll be 49 in September. So I'm getting there as quick as I can. Let me see. Yeah, and it's just beautiful stuff, man. Is this why... Let me see here. John says, is this why artists often are not appreciated in their time? It's tough to say because I think Mucha was celebrated in his time. He was just killed by Nazis. Which is not... I don't like that idea, man. Ugh. Yeah, maybe Guillermo del Toro will do a Black Lagoon. That would be cool. I think Shape of Water might be the closest we get. Only person who I'd want to see do it. Yeah, the creature design I'd love to see, although I think he may have already done it with Shape of Water, would be Mike Hill, one of my favorite artists. I've messaged back and forth with him before, and he's a terrific guy. Nice, Rachel. I'm missing something. Rachel, maybe... oh, you're right, Rachel. Sorry, I missed that one. Krabby Patty saying hello. Sometimes when the colors are the same, I get confused on who it is. It's just one of those crazy things. But yeah, I'm 64 now, 2 yards a week. I mow 2 yards a week. Excellent, man. Love it. Yeah. And as soon as I get to the post office with those 2 sketches, there's going to be one coming to you, brother. So bear that in mind. It's on its way, man. Once I get all those things taken care of. But one of the biggest influence on my stuff that you can actually see in my design, who's a comic book artist, is Mobius. I love what Mobius did with Arzak. I love the stuff that he did. I just got... the collection of the unfinished work for the Arzak story he was working on when he passed away. Cancer, in case anybody's wondering. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, but, you know, and that stuff's been going on for as long as I can remember. The thing you got to bear in mind is that with them and with the Stalinists and everything, and gosh, the worst is what you see with what Mao did in China, which is it's the eradication and the outlawing of the historical culture of a particular group of people. And you see this big this big attempt to do a similar thing here in the States that we're fighting back right now. But there was a big protest by artists in China, which I don't know if you guys would have heard about this, when Kung Fu Panda came out. And here's what the protest was about. The protest in Kung Fu Panda, about Kung Fu Panda in China, wasn't about appropriation. It wasn't about anti-West. It was to their government saying, you guys have outlawed us making artwork that glorifies Chinese culture before Mao. So any of our traditional culture has been outlawed. If you hadn't had that outlawed, that could have been our movie that got made. Think about that for a second. Think about all of the beauty and history of culture that collectivist ideologies, whether they be socialism or communism, and whatever fickles your fancy, they just erase individuality and they erase culture. And this is, for me, this is a statement of culture. You know? Yeah, I don't even doubt it. I don't even doubt it. And that movie was a huge success, and so you started seeing little bits of it. Yeah, 3,000 years of Kung Fu, amen. I mean, you want to talk about a culture that just was extraordinary, that was erased by that sort of collectivist authoritarianism. That is a prime example, but it seems to be the case everywhere. Yep, absolutely. Yep. Or SJW is taking down, taking down statues of historical people, and then eco-terrorists splashing the art with paint. One and the same in terms of the attitude. The attitude is one purely of destruction and of destroying things that that celebrate individuality, but more importantly, technical excellence and skill. And that's the thing for me that's kind of interesting, because the artists who have contributed so much to me, those who have come and gone, you know, in some cases works that are 200 years old. I have a book, one of my favorite books that I own, and I could just think about this all day because it's incredible, is a book called Frankenstein. It's a book on all the artwork that Frankenstein's inspired and the original work itself. It's called Frankenstein, the First 200 Years. My God. Mary Shelley, when she wrote Frankenstein, and she did write Frankenstein. I've done my research, guys. I've looked at it from every possible angle. Yep, that's the purpose of AI, to destroy. Yeah, well, sure, and I think the main thing, the purpose of AI is to. But here's the funny thing: we're hitting a wall with automation and all these things. We're actually having a crisis of lack of hand skills. So electricians, plumbers, all of that stuff is where we're seeing their problems. And people with hand skills to do surgery. Like there's a whole push now to push laptops and computers out of the classroom and get people to be using their hands more, because they don't have the skills. They don't know how to spell because they use spell check. They don't know how to write. They don't know how to compose sentences. They don't know how to have conversations. Yeah, she was a teenager when she wrote Frankenstein, but man, she was a teenager... trying to think of the way to say this in the least upsetting way. When she wrote Frankenstein, she had already lost her first child after a very brief time on this planet, and she had seen some stuff. Yeah, what is up, Cranberry Langers? Yeah, she had been through a lot. Her mother died when she was born. Due to just some real idiocy, in my personal opinion. Past Master Dan, she refused to go to a doctor, and, you know, she's just crazy. She was a teenager back when adulthood started at 13. You're absolutely right. Yeah, and she had run off to essentially elope, even though they weren't married, with Percy Shelley. So she was a woman of the world who was dealing with a lot of adult problems right from the start. But she was an incredible artist. And Cranberry Langers, my brother, is here. It's always great to see Cran. Yeah, she was an incredible woman. I'm working on a documentary for her. Gotta go, Travis Perrick. Thank you so much for your super chat and for your support. Really appreciated, my friend. Really appreciated. Reading some old school Hero Alliance issues, number 5 and 6. I like it. Like the sound of that, man. Like the sound of that. Yeah, some crazy stuff out there. Some great stuff. But yeah, so Mary Shelley, Alphonse Mucha. Then there's the contemporary artists, and those, some of whom have passed away, like Dave Stevens, but some who are still with us, like Todd McFarlane. But Bernie Wrightson was a huge influence, and just in terms of Frankenstein. I don't do anything like that's pen and ink like Bernie Wrightson's stuff, but my God, his stuff inspired and invigorated me. And Basil Gogos, whose work I love doing this pan that we can do now. There you see Frank Frazetta and his beautiful figure work, which I better pan off of so I don't get a YouTube problem there. I was trying to keep him out of frame because nothing's showing in that, but you never know with YouTube. But there you go. Let's see here. The founding fathers were in their early to mid-20s in 1775, I know it. And some of the people who signed the Declaration of Independence weren't there for the Constitutional Convention. It's crazy to think about. And knew more than today's college graduates. I don't doubt it, Grey Wolf. I don't doubt it. Yeah, life expectancy was short. Yes, absolutely. Take care, Travis. Yeah, my intellectual hero was Leonardo da Vinci. Well, yeah, I have that giant book. What an incredible artist. And a left-hander, much like Manny Pacquiao, another one of my favorite left-handed artists. So was Dave Stevens, was left-handed. Todd McFarlane is left-handed. So, yeah, a lot of left-handed artists out there doing some great work. But, yeah, there's a lot of them, Rachel Brinkley. It's astounding how many that are unreported in analog China. Well, I believe that. But, yeah, so to me, that's the thing that is so inspirational when I'm looking at work is all of the great stories that have been done. You know, the things that that inspire me, like Basil Gogos and his insane color sense. It's just incredible. His color sense is great. The poster artists who worked on those early Universal posters, look at that. I mean, that stuff was, that lithography, and I've seen those, the originals of both of those posters at an exhibition in Salem, Massachusetts, of all places, here in the heart of Lovecraft country. Just incredible stuff. So when people back the stuff that I do and back the books, back Springball, back Nosfero, and anything that I'm working on here in Comicsgate and here at Shanth Enjeti Art, man, it's like what you're backing is, I think, and what you guys are true patrons of the arts. It's craftsmanship. Every single one of those packages for the first Nosfero book that I sent out, I hand-packed. So if you got the book, I packed your book, bagged and boarded it, and then I put it in the cardboard, folded it up, and then wrote the name on it. And Mrs. Enjeti went and she printed out all the labels of everything that we kept together. It's crazy. It's what we do here. We work harder than we should be able to, but you guys lift us up and you inspire us by saying, yes, we want this artwork to happen. We want this great stuff to happen here in Comicsgate. And I'm one of those people to where I really do believe good things come to those who wait when it comes to artwork. I would rather have something done correctly. And one of the works I've been looking at, and one of the craftspeople in Comicsgate who I'm a big fan of, is Matt Martin. I don't know if any of you guys got Matt Martin's Snowman, A Cold Day in Hell, but Matt has a sensitivity to his work and a sensitivity to line. His stuff is very, it plumbs the depths of horror when you read a book like Snowman. But at the same time, it's the beauty of his aesthetic work and his craftsmanship and his, gosh, he's got this beautiful blend of almost old school traditional craftsmanship merged with the innovations of cartooning that we've found, in recent decades. And I love that about Matt Martin, and I love his stuff, and I will back and wait for those. Oh, my goodness, a super chat, $15 super chat. My God, man. From Cranberry Landers, my brother, your tip, waffles and a Dr. Pepper. Respect, my brother. Respect as always. What can I say, Cranberry? I feel like I always think of that scene I love from Dances with Wolves with some of you guys where he goes, "We've come far, you and I," when Kicking Bird says that. We've come far, you and I. Oh, my goodness.
Charge! Charge!
Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate the super chat. Shanth, could you do your watercolor painting over someone else's drawing like Matt Martin's? I've never tried, but I suppose I could. I think anything is possible, man. But there's a particular process to it I would have to figure out so that the painting would line up, because I think it's best when the line art is on its own layer, and I wouldn't want it to move. But that's a really good question. There's a lot of people that I think it could be interesting to do that with, and Matt Martin is definitely one of those. But if you don't know Matt's work, Matt's Snowman is a real it's a real labor of love, and it's just a beautiful testament to craftsmanship. And I think Snowman 2 is Snowman 2 still funding? I don't even know if I have that in the chat. Would the mods, if it's still funding and you know where it is, would you please drop that link? That would be so great to get that, yeah, we will make it longer. I have a feeling we will. Absolutely right. Yeah, because it is just great stuff. Snowman 2 is criminally underfunded. Someone needs to drag him out of his hole and get him on stream. You know what, though? Glass Machine, that's a really good point. just in terms of why we stream and why we have to go on streams. The thing about artists, and something that I think Ethan really appreciates with regards to Matt, who he's known since they were kids, for God's sake. Thank you so much, Glass Machine. There is the link to Snowman. Now, I don't think I'll get a strike for this, but one of the first, or not a strike, but I'll probably get a claim for this, but I've already got a few claims. But one of the things that, yes, indeed. I'm going to get back to Matt in a second once I find this here. Let me see if I can find this. Where is it? Is this it? Let me just make sure this is the right one. Hold on. We'll see. That was it in the cloud, that's why. I love this. I gotta get this on here. Hang on a second, guys. Bear with me. I'm going to try some things that are not going to go well because that's just been my experience. Let me just do this here. Edit. Where is it? No. Be patient with me, guys. Be patient with me. God bless you all. God. Edit. Paste. Let me see if I can do this here. All right. So now I got to go into here. Hit play.
New from All Caps Comics, Snowman, A Cold Day in Hell. The victim of a genocidal massacre has somehow returned from the dead and is carving a path of death across the heart of America, driven by the echo of silent screams. This is the story of a man once known as Black Dog, the one now forever known as the Snowman. Snowman, A Cold Day in Hell, back it today, only on Indiegogo.
So that was one of my first trailers I did way back when. What's up, Edwin? How are you doing? Good to see you, man. Let me see here. Shanth needed to turn it off and on again. You're absolutely right. So if you have not seen Snowman, A Cold Day in Hell, it is a really great read. And does Matt have a trailer for the new book? Yep. And it's still available on Matt's eBay store. If you missed Snowman, A Cold Day in Hell, all caps, and Ethan did a fantastic job with that book. And I think that Matt is just a brilliant, brilliant guy. Thanks, John. I'm trying this one pain med that has reduced the symptoms. Oh, that's great, man. Oh, man, it's always good when you find that sweet spot with that kind of thing, man. Pain can be a real exhausting experience. Timmy Mello saying hello. Alfonso saying hello. No. Yeah. Ethan never causes me any trouble with stuff like that, of course. But, yeah, so here's the funny thing. So this band, this group, Alda Nova, had a song called Medicine Man that I just loved when I was a kid when it came out, or when I was a teenager when it came out. And, I don't know why, but when I saw Snowman, the Snowman trailer, it had very slow kind of country music to it, or not country, but folk music to it. I just went, that's not, like, when I think about Matt Martin, I think about just this kind of, let's go. Pull up Matt's eBay store. He has original pages for sale. You know what we should do, Glass Machine? Because I'm going to have to wrap up in a second because I got to get something to eat because I'm passing out. I'm not eating anything today. So I got to start getting some food in my system. But let's do this, Glass Machine. Let me go back to what we were talking about before, Glass Machine, and let me know if this makes sense to you, man. I think, and I just want to, let me just share my workspace with you guys because you guys make this stuff possible, man. I've got all of the important representatives. I've got King Kong, who handles all of my stuff. I've got Thulu over there. But more importantly, I've got my Universal Monsters. I've got my Nutmeg Tavern from the Townsends. I've got my hashtag Gouache, because I used to joke about that on my Instagram. The clam chowder is calling, guys, and of course you see the awesome trailers for the books I've got right there. But Glass Machine, here's the thought I have. I don't want to. Matt is always welcome on my channel. If Matt wants to come on my channel, I will have him on my channel. No problem. Done deal. Love to have him on my channel. But what I was thinking is, maybe I should do an episode talking about his stuff and spotlighting his stuff. Just talking about his work, promoting his campaign. Maybe there's something I can come up with there. I don't know. Does he have... and thank you, Bosch. I appreciate you, brother. I shall, and you take care as well. You take care as well. Let me know, guys, in the chat if Matt Martin... And Bosch, you're welcome to come on whenever you want to. You just let me know. We'll do a stream, and we'll talk Pigman. Happy to do it, man. But for if anybody knows, does he have a... he'll snap like a cracker. Oh, my God. I think he'll be all right. I had my... Oh, jeez. Ooh, yeah. Oh, I felt that for a minute. Yowza. But if he doesn't, I mean, we really should get him a trailer for that, you know? Because it's, yeah, if he doesn't have a trailer, I'd love to have him have a trailer and get the word out about that book. But he just does great stuff. Thank you, Russell Tyson. I appreciate it, brother. And thank you, Cranberry Landers. So here's what we're going to do, guys. I'm going to go get my chowder on, as it were. Here in New England, in the heart of Lovecraft country. But guys, do me a favor, man. First of all, have a wonderful day. Have a great day wherever you are. He has a trailer, awesome, on the Indiegogo page. I'm going to get that into my rotation, Glass Machine. Next time I stream, I'm going to try to get that trailer. I'm not try. Trying is having the intention to fail. I'm going to get that trailer up, and we're going to make it happen. And there's the link. Thank you, Barb Rogers. Newly modded. And why did that take me so long, Barb? For heaven's sake. There you go. Matt Martin Snowman 2 is there. Criminally underfunded. Let's get out there and let's back this book, guys. But have an amazing day. Thank you, guys. Get out there. Back Springball. Back Nosfero the Crypt Walker. Thank you, guys, so much for your support. There's so many amazing books going on right now. I couldn't be happier. And you want an awesome, awesome library. You know what I mean? You want to me. Look, guys, the pride of my studio space are these crazy, crazy shelves of books. I've got my Mary Shelley section. I've got my comic book section. I've got my Hergé section. I've got my Osamu Tezuka section. I've got my Mobius section. I've got my painting section. I've got my complete works of Ray Bradbury. Those aren't even all my Blu-rays. I've got Blu-rays to the ceiling, and then I've got my comic book bookcase, which is over here with horror stuff and even Edward Hopper books, Saul Bass books, Kingdom Come, Mark Schultz's portfolio books. Jesse Wilcox Smith. I mean, to me, it's all about building that library. Hail, W Stream, indeed. Yes, yes, indeed. Thanks, man. Would love to. Let me know what works for you, man, and we'll do it. We'll talk comics, and we'll talk Pigman, you know? Thank you guys so much for being here. You can tell my brain is fading. Hello again, says Eric Weathers, and hello to you, man. For Springball, indeed. Thank you, Stealth X5. I really appreciate you, brother. But yeah, we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna do some cool stuff. There you go. The links are a-flying, guys. So everybody have a really great day. Thank you for being here from the heart of Lovecraft country. My name is Shanth Enjeti. You've been watching Shanth Enjeti Art. As I start every stream and end every stream, it's 8 bells and all is well. Speak easy, stay gold, keep the faith, and peace be with you guys. Give nihilism no quarter, and I will see you guys very, very soon. Thank you for being here, guys. And again, I appreciate you guys so much for backing all these fine books. Take care, man. Yes, indeed. J.R.R. Tolkien, got him representing here. I've got his art representing here in the studio. Yes, indeed. God bless all. God bless you, John. Great stream. Thank you, Timmy Mello. Stay inspired. Keep making your art, brother. Thank you so much. I will go eat, John. I promise. Thank you, Barb, and welcome to Modhood. Mechanoid, it's great to see you. Call of Cthulhu and Chowder. Amen. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Appreciate all of you guys. Rachel Brinkley, thank you so much. Let me see here. Who else have I got? Tari, good to see you, brother. Always great to see you in the chat. Past Master Dan, sir, it's on its way. And thank you, Eric Weathers, for being here. My brother from another mother. Russell Tyson, thank you for being here. Stealth X5, again, thank you. Let me make sure if I miss anybody else. Glass Machine, thank you so much. Alfonso, thank you. Glitch, cheers, brother. Blur, great to see you, man. Let me see who else if I missed. Anybody else? Krabby Patty, it's great to see you. Take care, my friends. And let's see, I think I got most everybody. Lord Hanson, Comic Skater, Take care, brother, and it's great seeing you. I will see all of you guys. Caleb, see you guys soon. And if you are a channel member, I will get your name in this chat if you're newly minted. And if you're already a channel member, you will be seeing yourself in this chat right here. Take care, guys, and have a great day. Give nihilism no quarter, friends.